Hey everyone, how's it going? And for the first time in many months, welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So, some of you may be wondering where I've been, and thank you to everyone who has reached out in the last few months. I think, I won't dwell too much on this, but I think as many of you probably have experienced when you spend a lot of time doing a hobby or playing a game like Magic, it can be easy to burn out and to end up just not enjoying it as much. And I think I got to that stage a little earlier in the year, and I thought rather than try and power through and just keep going and end up kind of disliking the game for longer, I decided to take a break, but now I'm back. Life was also very busy for the last 6 months in terms of work. So yeah, I'm still pretty busy, so I can't commit to the same kind of recording schedule as I had before. But hopefully, now that things like Pioneer Masters are on the horizon, which is very exciting, out in a few weeks, I should be able to record at least a couple of videos every week. So thank you everyone for your patience and welcome back. And yeah, it's good to be back. So I'm recording this on the day that MTG Foundations launched on Arena, so we have some new cards to play with, and in Pioneer or Explorer, as it still is at the moment, I am going to start out with a simple Boros Burn deck, because we have some exciting additions to this particular deck. So new to Explorer, we have Boros Charm, so this came in Foundations, and it's one that people like me, have wanted added to Arena for a very long time. So this is a 2-mana instant, one of those modal charm spells that says choose one, 4 damage to target player or planeswalker, permanents you control gain indestructible, and target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Now in this kind of deck, most of the time you're going to be using that first mode. It's a very efficient burn spell to the opponent, dealing 4 damage for 2 mana. So yeah, in a deck which is just about doing as much damage as quickly as possible, then this is absolutely where you want to be in terms of closing out the game. And then we've also got a new card, Bolt Wave, which is new Lava Spike or Lava Spike at home. So it's a 1-mana sorcery, deals 3 damage to each opponent. Very clean. Obviously in this deck does all kinds of things like triggers prowess, but mainly just helps you get that damage through that you need to. And then we've also got another new card, which is Burst Lightning, one of the most popular and powerful burn spells of all time. So a pretty simple shock on its base level, so 1 mana for a 2 damage instant, but later in the game you can pump 5 mana into it and do 4 damage instead. Again, in those games that go slightly long where you just need to deal that extra bit of damage, then this can be very good. So we are running 4 copies of that. And then in terms of the rest of the deck, many familiar items when it comes to burn. So we have 4 Commanding Faces Kakazans, great turn 1 play, deals a bit of damage to the opponent, grows your creatures, turns into a 2/2. Then we've got our prowess creatures, so we've got 4 Soulscar Mages and 4 Monastery Swiftspears, so both 1/2s that get bigger every time you cast non-creature spells. Then in a slight variant from kind of traditional burn, we've got 4 Monstrous Rages. So you tend to find, or is it Monstrous's Rage? Anyway, so this is kind of a more of a prowess style card, but because it is so good and does so much damage so quickly, it has kind of filtered its way into burn decks. And then just a couple of play with fires as well. Slickshot Show Off, obviously a more recent card, came out earlier in the year, but very good plot card that also just grows very quickly and does a lot of flying damage to your opponent. A couple of lightning helixes just for that extra burn and a bit of life gain if you need it. 4 copies of Light Up the Stage for that precious card advantage. Very important in these kind of decks that you don't run out of gas. So this provides that as well, and potentially for 1 mana. As I say, you'll have seen a lot of these cards before. And then in terms of our lands, we have a high number of dual lands, red-white dual lands, a couple of Den of the Bugbears, and a couple of Rabanap Ruins as our creature and utility lands, and Ahsoka Zan as well. We are running Gigantha, so the main board does allow us to play Gigantha. Depending on how we sideboard, we might have to take that out. For example, if we put in Searing Blood, which is a good way of dealing with opponents' creatures while also keeping the damage to their face going. Obviously, this doesn't work with Gigantha's restriction. And we've got a couple of Get Losts and Decorations in Stone as additional removal. More Lightning Helixes, good in mirror matches, and games where our life total matters quite a lot. And then 4 copies of Screaming Nemesis, which is not an entirely new card, although new for me, obviously, having just come back. So this is a 3/3 for 3 with haste, a mythic rare from Duskmourn. And it says whenever it is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target. If a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game, which is a pretty interesting clause. So we bring this in against decks which may try and get out of the whole burden situation by gaining life. So this is kind of rampaging Frostodon on steroids. Just, you know, no matter what you do with the Screaming Nemesis, your opponent cannot gain life for the rest of the game, providing it takes damage at some point, which is fairly likely if you ever block or attack with it. So yeah, that is the deck. Boros Burn. Simple stuff and a good place to come back to. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. We're back, so please hit those like and subscribe buttons. And yeah, let's go onto the ladder and see how we go on with this. Obviously, having not played the game for quite a long time, my rank has absolutely tanked. But we should hopefully, he says, be able to build that up again quite quickly. Do I take the 2 damage now and save the life later? I think that's probably worth it. Classic turn 1 Kumano faces Kakazan start. We are facing down Aspara's headquarters. So an Up the Beanstalk deck. That's exciting. This card had run out of favour a little. Was out of favour a little bit when I was last playing, so it'd be interesting to see what they're up to here. I think this is a pretty simple 2 Monastery Swiftspears turn. Just really start applying the pressure to the opponent. Hopefully before they can do too much. So this is a Zur Eternal Schema deck, is it? Oh, is this the one that uses all of the Overlords from Duskmourn? Okay, that makes sense. So, enchantment creatures you control will have blah-de-blah-de-blah. Okay. Well, let's try and kill the opponent quick enough that it doesn't matter. Deal 2 damage to Zur here. Okay, it's not a sweeper, which is the main thing. Well, I live in fear of leyline binding, but there's not a huge amount that we can do about that. I think I have to wait for them to make a move. Okay, let's cast Lightning Helix, trigger Prowess, so they're dead on board now, so they will have to respond. Yep, there's a leyline binding, so let them draw 2 cards. Target a creature with leyline binding, and then we'll respond by monstrous raging our other Swiftspear, which should be sufficient. Okay, very good. So yeah, I assume they're playing the Overlords deck, but I haven't actually seen an Overlord to confirm that, so having never played against this deck, I'm not entirely sure how I should sideboard. Something that exiles creatures seems like a decent shout, so let's put in a couple of declarations in stone, and then I don't think our life total matters quite as much here, so we'll take out Lightning Helix. And I think that will do for now. Yeah, 2 Beanstalks. Yeah, this is pretty much as I expected. A couple of the new lands here, which is good. I don't know how good these lands are. Let me know in the comments. I assume they're not kind of staples in Pioneer and Explorer, but they look decent. Yeah, let's try it like this. Where have my sideboard cards gone? There we are. See, this is a hand with a lot of burn in it, but no creatures. And how do I feel about that? 6, 8... See, there's 16 damage in hand here, but without anything to push through that damage. Okay, this will do. It's not great. Needs a bit more land. Let's put back a Boros Charm. Avatar. I assume that means it is the Overlords then. I would give that deck a go, but it requires about 18 mythic rare wildcards, so, you know, maybe later. Okay, well, let's do the old trick again. Now, they may have put something like Temporary Lockdown in their deck now. Although they don't really have the mana to cast it at the moment. Yeah, their mana was really awkward there. Okay, good start. Okay, a few technical difficulties there mean I'm basically stuck with this hand, but it's a pretty good one. I'm just going to adjust the volume a second. I have to say, it is nice to come back after a time away and not be immediately familiar with all of the cards and what they do. Trouble with... and the archetypes you're going to play against. Trouble with playing... Eternal formats, obviously, is that the cards don't change that often, and you do get very familiar with them. Ooh, fancy. Okay, well... So the opponent's on some sort of Rakdos deck, so I know there's a Rakdos Demons deck doing the rounds at the moment, so... That's potentially one of the things that's going on here. Opponent's a little short of land. So, let's hit them with the old Boros Charm. First time casting that on Arena. Very exciting. It's remarkable that it took as long as it did to get here, but you know. Hopefully with the coming of Pioneer Masters, we should be pretty much there on all of the playable cards by the end of the year. Okay, they're just dead. It feels like they should be to this. But let's find out. Not quite, okay. But they are now just one Ramanap Ruins activation away from dead, so... Unless they have a way of gaining life. Probably in pretty good shape here. Yep. Okay, they stumbled a bit at the beginning there. This looks like kind of traditional Rakdos mid-range, which is fair enough. And I think our main deck is probably quite well equipped against this. Maybe we're trading out the Lightning Helixes for Get Losts, just because if they play... Hello? Come on. I see we've got a bit of our post-update problems here. Okay, let's try changing the format. Nope. Okay, hang on a sec. Nope, that's just not working at all, is it? Okay. Well, Looks like we're just running our main deck. Small, independent startup company obviously can't be expected to have a product that actually works. Yeah, just hit them in the face with a bolt wave. I wonder if they've had the same problem sideboarding. That's a pretty good draw. So, let's pop a show off into play. Burst some lightning over their Goblin Shaman. Okay, that's pretty spicy stuff. But we are pretty much out of gas now, so... Thoughtseize and Liliana. Ah. That's fine. Is that fine? It's fine. Ooh, that is aggressive. Okay. They should be pretty close to dead here. So we'll hit them for 5. Hold back Boros Charm. Sure thing. Yes, okay.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me.
I'll discard Soak and Zan.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
Okay, they're not quite dead here, but let's hit them for 4. Hopefully we'll just draw some burn. Yeah, that is not what we wanted to see. Okay, let's draw Gigantha just for something to discard. My kingdom for a single piece of burn. Okay, they want to keep that card, whatever it is, so... Oh, Soulscar Mage. Yeah, removal makes sense. Okay. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to sideboard? I think I'm getting rid of Gigantha here, just because if I draw a Slick Shot or something, I can obviously just kill them in one turn. But I am facing down quite a lot of damage here. Burn. Yeah, that'll do it, I think. So, play the show off. Hit it with a monstrous rage. Good. Okay, didn't even need to sideboard at all. Yes, this will probably do. Oh, I've missed being Thoughtseized on turn 1. Nothing like it. So I'll probably play with fire here. Okay, that changes the calculation a little, I would think. Let's get rid of that. Okay, it's something at least. And I do have an answer if they try to bone crusher it at least. Yeah, I think I could live with that as a concept. That I like less. So this is Rakdos Sacrifice as opposed to Rakdos Midrange, which is fine. So I'll stick a Monstrous Rage on my Soulscar Mage. Hit them with the old light up the stage. How am I doing this? Am I lighting up again? Or am I playing Bolt Wave now? I think I'm going to light up again while I know that it's cheap. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. What an unlucky witness. Put it in the oven. Now, cat oven loops I definitely have not missed. So I think the plan here is just hit them for as much damage as possible. Bolt Wave is a sorcery. Should have cast that pre-main phase. Live and learn with new cards. And the opponent's gone to sleep anyway, so... Oh no, they're back. Fortunately, my Soulscar Mage has Trample. So we hit them down to 9. Let's see what they draw off the top here. Bitter Triumph isn't great. So they're on a functional 3-4 here. Ah, bloody life gain. Double oven. It's what we all love to see in our lives, isn't it? Okay, so they're pretty much going to run away with it here unless I can kill them basically in one turn, which seems unlikely. Yeah, okay, let's scoop this one up. A couple of silly mistakes there cost us, but... Okay, I can now sideboard again at least. So let's put in Screaming Nemesis in this matchup. What am I taking out? My life total's less important here. This is interesting. Maybe ditch the play with fires. Yeah. Looks like so much gas, and then you remember that that's because it has no land. Of course it looks good. It's just cards that do stuff. Oh, where? Oh yeah, I've discovered I sigh a lot more in life now, so there'll be plenty of sighing. Well, looks like we're playing Swift Spear. The good thing is, at least next turn I will have 2 threats which will let me cast Light Up the Stage, so... Not the cat! Oh yeah, if they sacrifice it, it'll be exiled. That's quite fun, actually. Oh no, it's only if it's dealt damage. Oh, that's sad. What's the point of you? Honestly, why are you like this? Okay, well, let's, yeah, okay. Then I've got old Soulscar Mage to make a audacious comeback. One more land. One more land. So if I had a decent burn spell, what I could do here is, at some point, I may be able to wait for them to have the sacrifice trigger on the stack and then exile the Cauldron Familiar. Well, that's not ideal. I think Light Up... interesting. I would have thought Light Up the Stage was the right choice there, but... Okay, they now have a wall the size of... Okay, well, I'll just keep playing 1-drops then. And don't think that I won't. So that's going to generate a food, that's fine. That exiles all of them so they don't get the card advantage at least. which is good. Hopefully, they've pretty much run out of gas now. Yeah, exiling those was massive. Just 2 cards that they can't cast now, so... Land! Slickshot Show-Off comes into play, and that can get through Cauldron Familiars. So I'm hoping we should be able to finish them off in fairly short order here. And they just won't draw anything like a Mayhem Devil. Would be ideal. I mean, it could be worse. Oh well. More showing off it is. Oh, I'd really like to be able to cast some spells. Or not. Just go wide with as many creatures as possible, clearly. Yeah, okay. I'm still just about doing them damage here, but my god, it would be nice to have a land which produced white mana. Okay, that's something. Now, they probably have a removal spell here, so I'm going to target something that isn't my show-off. Don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket. Okay, that's fine. Let's just lose the Swift Spear. So, 14-4. Okay, so we're finally winning the race here. Harvester is okay. Interesting. Woohoo! Okay, this should be sufficient. So they go to 1 here, and then they die to my flyer. Okay, no, they're just going to gain the food. I mean, they still die anyway, but I appreciate the thought. Okay. That was a bit of a grind, but we got there. So I don't really have a good answer for their ovens. Maybe I don't need... Let's trim 1 Screaming Nemesis. Put in a Searing Blood. Yeah, we are on the draw this time. Okay, that was weird. Don't do that. Stop it. course the blooming thing doesn't actually work. But it's so embarrassing. You're talking about a billion-dollar company. Fires all its workforce and remarkably stuff stops working. I mean, it never worked in the first place, but just like, for God's sake, sort yourselves out. Wonder if the opponent's having technical issues as well. Okay, they are here, and this is an okay opening hand. Plenty of creatures, flyers, the whole gamut. So with Kumano, when it's flipped, we can potentially do that cat exiling trick that I was talking about earlier, now that we actually have some burn. So I think I want to show off. I mean, I always want to show off, but I think I want to show off next turn. A cat and an oven. Okay, so this smells heavily of Fatal Push. So I think there's a question here about whether I just offer up a show-off, because they may not have it. And if they don't, I don't think it's worth risking not having the counter, because, like, what would I be doing instead? You hear me? Yeah, that's okay. We got another one. I can live with that. Well, I can't live with these endless cat oven loops. Huh. What a time to be alive. Okay, well, I'll kill that at some point. Probably now? So I'll play another show-off. I'll burst lightning their Fable token. And then just attack. They were kind of quite aggressive there, to be honest. And I think I can wait another turn to do the killing the cat while the trigger's on the stack thing. Can I even do that, actually? Maybe I can't, because the sacrifice is part of the cost. I don't know. I'll figure out a way. Maybe it's when after they've tapped out. It's fine. I've got it all in my head. It's a plan with no drawbacks. So let's take that down now. Hit them for 5. They'll do the cat loop. I haven't missed this card, let me tell you. Life was simpler when I didn't have to look at it. Okay, that's pretty spicy. So let's have another swift spear. So I think the question is, would I rather kill the harvester to stop them using it to kill my show-off, or am I just trying to end these cat loops? And that is the question we must ask ourselves at this difficult time. Well, they've kind of solved that problem for me, to be honest. Bring it back now. Cool. Okay, so go to full control just to make sure. Bring that back. Trigger on the stack. Hit it with a burst lightning. Obviously, I would like to be able to... Okay, they had a deadly dispute. That's fine. I can live with that. Because they don't have any food now, so... They have lost the loop for the time being. Don't want full... Stop it! I'm fine. No! These sacrifice decks are really annoying. That's my thought for the day. Okay, so I think I'm putting Screaming Nemesis into play. Sending in my creatures. Ugh. Just stop having sacrifice outlets. Okay, I think that'll probably do us here. They've drawn a few too many answers. Yeah, Mayhem Devil plus Reflection is a pretty short order. Oh well, never mind. So yeah, that was a pretty efficient burn deck, I have to say. Yeah, I made a couple of mistakes, which probably cost me in that last match, but I am new to this, so not a huge surprise. Let's open some Foundations packs, see what we get. Raise the Past. Now that's probably going to be quite good at some point or another. Great Catcher, another potentially good card, so there's a couple of good pulls there. So yeah, here's the Boros Burn deck one more time. Pretty decent, did some good work. Be interested to see it refined a little over time. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit those like and subscribe buttons. For the first time I've said that, in a while. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.